Hello and welcome to episode 6 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim, and today let's take a look at our mission control building here. We're going to take a step back after our successful moon mission and take a closer look at managing the contracts. We want to pick some things we can do that are going to make some money. First thing we're going to do, plant flag on the moon. So if we do another moon mission, that's something we can do very easily. We'll do it anyway if we land. Space from around Kerbal, that's another easy one. Data from space around moon, so that would go well with that one. Can we move these? No, that would be really handy to just kind of rearrange these according to the type and where they are. Test Sepratron in flight over Kerbal. Let's see what the 10,000 to 17,000, 360 meters per second to 560 meters. We'd probably be close to this towards the end of here. So these numbers kind of make sense, but it's kind of a small mission, small reward. So probably not like I said, a lot of these in-flight ones really aren't worth doing unless there's a really great reward. Just to keep things simple, rescue Jeff Mall from Kerbal. We could do that one. Let's see. Yeah, good reward ratio there. We could do that along with the collect science over Kerbal. Test basic jet engine splashdown at Kerbal. This takes a specialized little ship that can fly over and land very gently in the water. Yeah, even parachutes would be too fast. Parts would break. You have to actually use your engines to lower yourself so that all the parts survive to run the test. That's another one that fits in those nice challenge, but really not worth, only 1,500 funds. A nice little bit of science, but again, we'll kind of skip that one. Test LV-1R liquid fuel engine flight over Kerbal. 11,000 to 18,000, 370 to 470. Yeah, that's probably within the flight profile. A little better reward, good science. Explore Duna. Okay, we'll not quite there yet. Explore Ike. This is one we could do because we could do the landing very easily. If we can reach orbit there, and so the 310,000, so this one's definitely worth doing. 150 science would come back just from the contract plus all the science we gather. So this will probably be our first interplanetary mission. Explore Minmus. We have the ship that can do that. We could use our existing moon landing ship to do this one with a couple of small adjustments I'll show you. Probably next episode. Test LFB KR 1/2 on the escape trajectory out of the moon. Something you carry along to the moon mission, but I think this is one of those really large parts. So while the reward is pretty good, you take a ship probably that expensive or more to complete it. Test mainsail and flight over Kerbal. Nice reward, nice science, an achievable objective as far as the numbers. So we'll may think about that one. 2477. That's. Yeah, 10,000. You want to be doing about 200 meters per second, so that would be work. We might think about that. And test a stack decoupler orbiting Kerbal. So we could do that as part of the rescue mission. I think this might be the really huge stack decoupler. So it's going to be pretty hefty as far as weight goes, but a good reward and good amount of science. So let's do a little contract fishing. So let's eliminate all the in-flight ones right now and see what pops up in their place. So let's go ahead and take that one out. Test parachute, no. Let's go ahead and skip that. Test landed at Kerbal. Okay, that's something we could easily do. So that's rescue. We want to do that one. Splashdown. Let's go ahead and skip that for now. There'll be other splashdown ones that we might try later. I don't know if anything replaced it or not. Oh yeah, another parachute one. Let's go ahead and just keep eliminating these flight ones. LV and atomic rock suborbital trajectory. That might be interesting. Flight over Kerbal. Let's go ahead and just dump that. And it gave it to us again. Stack separator and flight over Kerbal. Do an Ike. Let's go ahead and drop that one and see what replaces it. No, actually this is one that we might be able to do, so yeah, so we got a couple of extra things. This we might be able to do, add to our rescue ship, and before we actually achieve orbit, test it. So this is something we could definitely try. So let's go for, do we have anything active? Oh, we still have that one. We have that ship already built, so we'll probably try that. And then let's add Science and Space, rescue Jeff Mall, and test an atomic motor on a suborbital flight. And let's just take a look and see if anything replaces those orbiting. Yeah, like I said, that one's pretty darn big. Let's 89,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. We can accomplish this. Just maybe not. We may have to build a ship to just do that, though. Alright, so let's accept that one. Okay, so now we have our booster test, science, rescue. So these three can go together, and this one's probably a specialized ship, and this is already a specialized ship. Okay, so all that out of the way. So that's, like I said, that's kind of one way of looking at the contracts. And with our advances, we're up to 736,000 funds. Now let's take a look at what it's going to take. Let's load up our rescue ship. Did I save it? Under what? Under a name that's obvious. Landed tests. No, I didn't make it obvious. That's something that it's probably one of these test ones. Either 1, 2, or 3, I think. Let's see what they are. No, that's not a rescue. That's not a rescue. Was it was it that one? Was it our first orbital? Nope, that's just simply getting into orbit. Oops, wrong button. Alright, instead of all those shenanigans, let's just go for... Let's just take one of these and modify it. Alright, this is a rescue, so we need an extra capsule. We need a different kind of parachutes. And don't forget symmetry this time. Let's put them up here. Get rid of that altogether. We do not need this on there. So we get our science with a crew report. We get, actually let's put a thermometer on here. Stick it right next to the crew hatch. We might be able to, I think you can use thermometers in near orbit. We'll test that. So that'll be our science plus. We can just simply get a crew report. Okay, next item is we need to test the nuclear engines. Mass 2.25 tons. These are pretty heavy. And let's see, what was the conditions on that? Was that suborbital? Yeah, suborbital, so before we actually reach orbit. So if we attach this to here, to lettuce, sometimes you just have to go to the other side. We can actually use those and that little bit of fuel as to help us boost into orbit. That did add quite a bit of weight. Let's do that and put just want 2 times symmetry. I touched the 4 times symmetry area. Remember, that's kind of one of the things you have to kind of look out for. Yeah, so we can detach these and get rid of this weight once we're and what the heck just happened? That's what I want. Alright, so we got rescue, test, science. Let's save this as, I think we're up to 9. Let's call the rescue, because we can always detach everything. Rescue plus test. Number 1. Because if we need to do another rescue, we could always just get rid of all this extra stuff and go from there. Alright, let's save that. Let's get a crew member in the capsule other than Jebediah. See, I think we're down to Gregden. Okay, Gregden, your mission. Let's go. Alright, SAS on, throttle full for after the boosters. And also, whoops, I need to, let's revert. I need to play with the staging. Okay, so our main boosters, wow, that's, yeah, that is not even close to being right. Alright, so main boosters, second stage. Those fire. The separatrons, yes, that's the separatrons, they fire. So get rid of those and then start the main bottom engine, which is, yes, that one there. See it highlighting. Next stage is that'll I need to keep boosting for quite a while. Next stage is that gets rid of everything, so we need one just for that. Then parachutes. That's up there somewhere. Okay, there's our second stage, so probably need that first and fire that engine. And then this can go, once we're done with the nuclear engines, we can then eject them and lighten our load. And then somewhere along there, once we're suborbital and boosting with this rocket and we meet the conditions, we can fire the nuclear ones to help us out, and that should help make up for the weight that we're adding. Alright, so that's the logic of everything we're doing. Now let's save that again that we have, oops, and get Gregdon back in. Oh, he stayed there this time. Okay, that's nice. Oh, that's because I was only messing with the staging. If I had changed any parts, Jebediah would go back in there. Alright, so save, launch. SAS on, throttle to full, 3, 2, 1, take off. Before that wobbled over to the side and fell down. Alright, this one's going to be mildly dramatic towards the top here. But I'm going to speed things up until we get into the next stages. So I will see you then. Okay, I'm back, and the thing to notice is that our velocity dropped a lot when we changed just this engine. It's only now I'm going back up now that we burned off a lot of the fuel. So these things are too heavy. I'm going to see if I can get the suborbital trajectory to test these and get that out of the way, and then we'll do the rescue mission as a separate mission. But this is clearly not going to make it into orbit. We'll just see if we can get to the conditions for this test. Alright, let's take a look at this view. So we really just have to get this over 70,000. I don't think even that's going to come into play. Already half of this fuel's gone, and we're kind of slipping as far as our trajectory. Probably just should have tried to go straight up and reach the 70,000. Oh, yeah, we lost it. Out of fuel. Not meeting our conditions. So, revert. Alright, clearly we need more power, more fuel. Let's see, this thing costs 38,000 to get up into to launch. I think we can fix things with this simply by changing these out for the really big long ones. So that'll give us a much higher boost. Just have to get it on there. Alright, I think question is, of course, whether I'll need separatrons. Let's go ahead and strut this up a bit as well. One on top, one on bottom. I think what I want to do is put this engine separately, give these guys time to fall away before I hit the juice on the engine down here. We're still going to slow down a lot, but I think we'll be high enough and fast enough. Also want to thrust limit this to, let's say, 60. Save again, launch. Alright, we are here with Jebediah. He jumped in the cockpit. That's fine, we'll let him go into space since he's so eager. Throttle the full SAS on. 3, 2, 1, lift off. Alright, I think we'll be good, but I'll meet you guys when we're up, farther up. So let's do a little speed up and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, we have got rid of the first stage. It looks looking good. Still gaining velocity, which is always nice. We got to turn this over. Gain horizontal velocity as quickly as possible. Let's see our test for... Okay, we need to be at least 76,000 and no more than 8,200. Let's go to 8,500. Cut down the engines here. Let's take a look at the note here. Oh, okay, they want us to run test. This isn't a staging one. Okay, that's good to know this. Usually rocket engines and things are staged, but they want to run test, so we're fine. We can still fire it. We just need to make sure we do the run test as well. Alright, we're getting close. Let's get to horizontal because that's the velocity we need now. Is all horizontal. Okay, let's fire up our other engine. Let's move this stage down. Move the ejection down. Let's go ahead and fire the other engines. And now let's test them. Right click, run test. Alright, we've achieved that. Looks like we're going to run out of fuel on the main engine before we run out on the nuclear ones, so we don't want to stage them just yet. We'll go ahead and use them for all the oomph they have. Kind of weak, but very efficient. And let's tilt down just a bit. actually what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and burn the rest of them after this engine cuts out. Alright, looks like not pretty close to orbit. 940,000, that's nice. Okay, we're a little past the apoapsis, so let's gain a little, point up a little bit here. Okay, we've lost all the, so we can stage that, and we can also stage away these nuclear engines and lessen our weight, make things much more efficient. And we're in orbit, kind of a funky orbit, but that'll do. Let's get Jeff Mall as a target. Okay, there's our intersect, kind of far away. We can achieve our other mission objective, gather science, so let's go ahead and move in. And let's see if that thermometer works. Yes, 8 science in space near Kerbal, very nice. So we don't need to bother with the crew report, it's 0 science. So it won't do us any good. Alright, I'm going to, let's see, it's going to take a little while to catch up to Jeff Mall, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a cut here, and I'll see you guys when I'm a little closer to Jeff Mall. I'm just going to, I just have to wait a few orbits to catch up to him. I'm in a lower orbit, so I'll catch up to him by about that much each time. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright, I am back and we are about to catch up. I think when we hit this one, it'll be one more orbit. We'll be fairly close. And we can make a final burn to get the rendezvous. Alright, yeah, that's pretty darn close. But I want to go slow this down. Actually, let's cancel this. Let's do a maneuver here and see what we can. 12 kilometers, 11, 10. It's hard to read with it bouncing around like that, but so 10. It looks like most of that is the result of being inside the orbit. That'll be close enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to there. Went past it, that's okay. Just a quick little burn. .3, it's, yeah, going back up. Okay, let's go over to there, and then we'll start moving in closer to Jeff Mall. I know rendezvous are one of those things a lot of people don't quite seem to get. Main thing is getting somewhat close, within 10 kilometers on the flight path. And now we'll set this to target. Let's go ahead and kill the relative velocity. Now we'll get us in a pretty similar orbit. There it is. Not worried too much about following it. Yeah, see, it's already kind of like moving just on its own from this being so close. Okay, now we can burn towards 10 kilometers away. That's quite a distance. So let's really go get some velocity to get towards them. Okay, and then do a little time warping to let this distance close. And this is going to move off as we go around the orbit, but that's fine. So we're getting much closer now. Alright, 2 kilometers, and once that's about where it's going to start not being closer anymore. So let's once again kill the velocity. And then do a little burn towards them with 2 kilometers, about 20 meters per second. Be a little less. Be a good velocity to approach. Probably about. Let's see. That's probably about 1% of the. So if it's 2 kilometers, 20 meters per second. If it's 10, 100. I didn't go quite that high, but somewhere around 1% or a little bit less is always a good kind of rule of thumb for this velocity, because this will let us get closer at a decent pace. We're not waiting forever. Let's get on our, and then time warp a little bit. That brings us down to about 300 meters. Let's shut down that difference. Now that we're 300 meters away, yeah, there we go, 10 meters per second. That seems to be. And then we can pull that closer to us. Okay, now we're closing pretty fast. Whoops, whip around. Go on there and shut down this speed. Oops, a little too much. We're going away again. But now we can fine tune it. Let's just get going towards it. There we go. 4 meters per second. We're not really on a direct course, so it's. There we go. Let's shut down that velocity and we'll do. There we go. Anything under 1 meters per second is good for switching to Jeff Mall. And he's floating out there, kind of desperate, but now we turn on his RCS jets. And we can kind of maneuver around a bit. Wait for me, I wanna go home. And he's going in the top capsule. Oops, slow down. Go up, go forward, go down, go up, go left, go forward, go right, go down, and grab hold. Board. Alright, so we've accomplished the first part of the mission. We've gotten some funds directly from that. But now we want to go home, so it's simply a matter of getting our orbital retrograde and burning the heck out of this engine. Just use up all the fuel. And we're dropping right in the middle of some probably highlands. Alright, I will see you guys on the ground. Alright, we are safely on the ground. Before we head in, let's see where we are. Crew report. Highlands, okay, we haven't done that yet, so we can do some extra science. Let's go ahead and EVA Jeb. Let's take that data. Let's also take the data from the thermometer, because now we can run another test from here. Let's do EVA. Board. Exit once again. Let go. What happened? You're just walking along and he exploded? Good thing that was Jeb, because he'll come back. Alright, Jeff Mall, you're going to have to do the EVA science. I'm not walking you to wherever that point is, so you're just going to have to stand there. EVA report. Surface sample. Grab, you can get into Jeb's capsule, and we'll do one more temperature reading, and then now recover this vessel. Yeah, that was weird. So we'll accomplish that and that with this recovery. 29.9 science earned on this mission, so exactly as much as we got from doing our little capsule thing on the launch pad. Alright, so, and our science has jumped up to 263. I'll have to see how we did that. So, because we had 120 when we started. Oh, the test mission. Okay, yep. Next parts, some funds back from the parts. Crew, got Jeff Mall back. Yeah, just a small amount of reputation because we lost Jeb, which was weird. Okay, let's take a look at what we accomplished. 31,000 from science. Rescue Jeff Mall, 58,000 funds. He's added to the crew. Board the vessel. Test the atomic rockets, 244,000 and 112 science. Wow, I don't think I realized how much this was, so that was worth it. Alright, so we have some science to spend. 264. Each of these is 160, so it's still just one. But, so there we can get the mainsail. Grabber, don't need that yet. Don't need those. Extra solar panels would be handy. Barometer. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the mainsail and the extra engines and tanks because we want to start thinking about our Ike mission. And finally, let's go ahead and finally do our booster mission. Yep, no Jebediah. Alright, that was orbit test. Four, I believe. Yep, there's our weird thing with the booster on top. Let's go ahead and grab Charlie Kerbal. And let's finally launch this sucker. Alright. SAS on. Let's see. Throttle. Yeah, we'll have it full when the next stage ignites. 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Let's see, the conditions for this one are orbit above 82,000. Or 82,900. So 83 to 93. I will see you guys in orbit. Alright, I'm back, and as you saw, we had a bit of a dipsy doodle on our way up. Coming from lack of control, there's only the reaction wheel in the capsule, plus the gimbaling of the engine, so I started to turn a little too aggressively, and it flipped around. So I shut the engine down while it was pointed downward, so I wouldn't kill my own velocity, let it flip all the way around, fired again, because I knew, you know, this engine and all that fuel would be plenty to get us into orbit, which we are. Let's see if we've met the conditions. Yes, we have. Kerbal orbit, the right altitude. I'm going to do it through staging, which is the next stage. And why is there fuel? I thought I took the fuel out of here. I do not want that. Well, staging it, this will basically just bring me back down to Kerbal so I can land, so I guess it's okay. So let's fire it off, and if not, I can try to separate. But this is a little bit dangerous. Charlie, are you ready? Alright, 3, 2, 1, stage. Oh, maybe... Well, we did get the test. There must be some kind of bug that's showing it has the fuel even though I took it out. So I guess we're okay. Yeah, because it shows it there, it shows it here, shows it here. Alright, so I guess we're okay. So we just need to go back down to Kerbal, get Charlie safely back home. I'm not going to show any of it. I'm just going to get into position to burn. and then go back home. Save a little time on the video. So I do this burn, and then we'll see the results of all of today's missions. Be right back. Okay, Charlie is safely back on the ground, or in the water at least. Let's bring him home. Yeah, nothing from that, because this is strictly a test. So we're up over $1 million in funds. That particular contract awarded us 43,000 and 8 science. Not enough to unlock a new tech node, but we ended up pretty much as much science left over as we had when we started. I think we started with 112. Anyway, I do want to do one more thing. This is the end of the episode. Except I want to see... Okay, this is the test item. Okay, we could have actually tested that. I should have taken a look at that. That's the one thing we need to test left in orbit. Yeah, I could have done that as part of that mission. That's fine. We can do that on some other... Let's take a look at the contracts that are in there now. Alright, so... landed... in flight, suborbital, that's maybe a possibility. Alright, escape trajectory, no. This might happen when we take off for Minmus, so we'll think about that, but let's... Next mission we're going to Minmus. We'll collect a lot more science, unlock a lot more parts, get a lot more money. The ship that went to the moon, I looked it up after the last episode, and it cost about a little over 100,000. So we'll get more than that, well more than that back with these combination of rewards. We'll get a lot of science, and we'll advance our way closer to going interplanetary. Alright, that's it for episode 6 of How to Contract in Kerbal Space Program version 0.24. My name is Jim. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day.